You're right, guys, I'm liking this one. It's my cheese and onion slice. This is another very simple one to make. Something for the kids to do during the holidays, maybe. We just need some grated cheese, an onion, a boiled potato, pinch of salt and pepper, some English mustard powder, or you can use Dijon if you want, an egg wash, and a pack of ready rolled puff pastry. The ingredients in the description below are to make 4 slices. I'm just making 2 today. So the first thing to do is get your roll of puff pastry out of the fridge to let it start warming a bit and make the cheesy mix. And all we're doing here is chopping the potato up. No need to be too fussy with the chopping of the potato. It's going to be mashed up a little bit later anyway. Get your potato chunks in a bowl and finally dice your onion. I'm using a shallot today, bit of a change. In the bowl with the onion, that's the hard bit done really. Add the grated cheddar. The pinch of pepper, I'm using black pepper for this one. And the salt. And lastly, the English mustard powder. You can use ready-made mustard if you want, or you can use Dijon or any type of mustard you want. Obviously you can tailor this to suit your own needs. I didn't put too much mustard in just in case one of my grandkids have one of them. Give it all a good mixing, and this is what I mean about not being too fussy with the potato chunks. You're going to mash them up a little bit anyway. A bit of variation in size, always a good thing. Set it to one side and bring out the pastry. Follow the manufacturer's guidelines with the puff pastry. Mine said to take it out the fridge 15 minutes before using it. And as you'll see, look, it's still a bit cold in the centre and starting to tear a bit, starting to crack. Didn't matter for this sort of dish. The last little bit in the centre always goes a bit funny with me, just like that. I could have let it warm up a little bit, but that would have made it unworkable. Smooth the pastry out if needed and cut it into your desired shapes. I like to use a pizza cutter, it makes it so much easier to cut the puff pastry. Or any roll pastry really. Separate the squares and place them on your work surface. You can put them on the baking tray straight away if you want. Time to start adding the mix to your pastry. Don't go mad with this, get it in the centre. As much or as little as you want, as I quite often say, but if you make it too high, you'll have trouble getting the top slice of pastry on. Try and keep it away from the edges. It doesn't matter that much, you can always push it around afterwards. Just like that. On with the top pieces of pastry and firm the edges down. But while you're firming the edges down, push in towards the centre a bit to make the bump more pronounced. It gets rid of any little air pockets there. Crimp the edges with a fork, and as you push down, pull away a little bit from the centre of the slice. Oh, good planning, Steve. There we are. Lucky I'm ambidextrous, isn't it? And just trim the edges of the pastry. I use my pizza roller again. So much easier than having the pastry sticking to your knife. Onto your baking tray or your baking sheet and do the same with the rest. Poke a couple of holes in the centre of each. This lets the steam escape, stops the pastry going all over the place. and brush on your egg wash. The egg wash I'm using for this one is just 1 egg and a tablespoon of water well mixed together. Brush it all over. You could put these in the oven now, but I'm going to put these in the fridge for 20 minutes. This lets the pastry relax a little bit, and when it does start cooking, the butter gives up its moisture quicker and gives you those extra puffs. And now's the time to get your oven preheated to 200 Celsius. Out of the fridge about 20 or 30 minutes later and on with a second egg wash. And what this does, this reinforces the first one. The first one has sunk into the pastry a little bit, and the second one will give you that extra golden glaze, a little bit more crisp on top. And in the oven, I use 200 Celsius fan. I've got it set for 25 minutes at the moment, but I'll check on it. Take them out earlier if they're done, leave them a bit longer if they're not. And spookily, these were ready in 25 minutes. Out of the oven, onto a cooling rack. This helps the bottom crisp up a little bit. Don't want a soggy bottom, do we? Oh, they look good. Lovely. Who needs a knife and fork? Yeah. Well, that is so close to a very popular high street brand. Oh yeah. Liking that one, guys. Need a quick photograph for eat it all. I hope you give this one a go, guys. It is so tasty. And something for the kids to do. Maybe not chopping up the onion, but the rest of it. Oh, they'd be so chuffed to bits making those. Take care, and I'll catch you on the next recipe.